Okay, so if you're doing qualitative research, you totally know this moment. You've powered through the interviews, you've spent hours coding all that data, and you finally pulled out your themes. It feels like a huge win, right? But then this little question starts nagging at you. What now? What's the next step? And that question usually sounds a little something like this. Do my themes have chemistry? I mean, that's really what we're asking, isn't it? You're staring at this list of themes you've worked so hard on, and you start to wonder, am I supposed to be connecting these? Is there some kind of deeper story here that I'm missing? Trust me, you are not alone in feeling this way. It's a super common moment of uncertainty for researchers. You've basically hit what I like to call the thematic crossroads. It's that point where you just aren't sure if your analysis is actually done. You feel this pressure, A pressure to dig even deeper, to find some grand theory that ties every single thing together. But here's the thing, is that always the right move? Well, the short answer, and I know this can be a little frustrating to hear, is it depends. Yep. There's no hard and fast rule that says you absolutely have to connect your themes every single time. In fact, trying to force relationships that just aren't really there, that can actually make your whole analysis weaker. So, how in the world do you decide? It all comes down to one single, really powerful principle, your guiding purpose. The choice to connect your themes or to let them stand on their own has to always be driven by the original purpose of your study, by your research question. That's it. Nothing else should be calling the shots. And that leads us to this pro tip, which is so important to remember. Let your purpose guide your path, not the pressure to just do more. It's so easy to get caught up in feeling like you should be doing more analysis, but you have to resist that temptation. Think of your research question as your North Star, your compass. Let it show you the way. Okay, so let's make this super practical. We can actually use a really straightforward decision framework to figure this out. This is going to give you a clear path forward, and it's all based on that guiding purpose we were just talking about. All right, let's break this down. It really comes down to one of three scenarios. First up, if your whole study is about developing a new theory or figuring out a process, then yes, absolutely, you should be connecting your themes. Those relationships are probably the key to the whole thing. But what if your themes, just as they are, already give a complete, rich answer to your research question? Well, then maybe not. You might have already reached the finish line. And finally, and this is a big one, if your data is just too thin to really back up any meaningful connections, then it's a definite no. Forcing links where there's no solid evidence is a major pitfall you want to avoid. So, to make this idea stick, let's try looking at our themes in a totally new way. There's this great analogy that can help reframe how you're thinking about all this. Just think about it like this. Your themes are like puzzle pieces. Each one is its own unique shape, its own little piece of the bigger picture that you're trying to put together for your reader. This one simple idea can make it so much clearer when you should or shouldn't start trying to connect them. So with this puzzle analogy, you've got two possible outcomes. On the one hand, sometimes the picture is complete when the pieces are just laid out side by side. Each theme is a crucial part of the answer, and when you see them all together, bam, the whole picture just makes sense. But on the other hand, sometimes the real beauty, the real aha moment, isn't how those pieces actually fit together. The magic isn't in any single piece, but in the connections, the way one theme flows into the next, creating a story that's so much more than just the sum of its parts. And that brings it all back to you and your work. So I want you to look at your puzzle pieces, your themes. Ask yourself, is my research puzzle already complete? Or is the most important final step figuring out how all of these pieces lock together? The answer, it's been there all along, right in your original purpose. Trust it, and you'll know exactly which picture you're meant to build.